Hello everyone, this is the second video about the drafted deck. We'll just actually give it that name. In this we're going to come up with our starting party and also come up with our hazard, or at least the first draft of the hazard deck. Now, we definitely want to start with Glorfindel and Gildor. The plan is to have Glorfindel carrying the Elfstone, and then Gildor will follow him. But that does use 12 of our starting 20 mind for two quite good characters. That leaves us with 8 GI left to do other characters. One possibility, I suppose, is we have Gimli and Boffer. Ordinarily, you don't want to mix dwarves and elves, but I think the odds of him drafting, I should say, unhappy blows is pretty low. But we do want to keep Gimli ready for the, if you map it out, well, these 4 Dunlendings and the 3 Gondor factions are all pretty close. It's Rangers of the North and the Iron Hill Dwarves that are kind of way off to the side. So I do think that I would like to keep Gimli in reserve so that at least we have the option of popping him up in the Iron Hill Dwarf hold, influencing his faction, and then heading home. Of course, that means we need to keep 6 general influence free, which is not likely. Of course, someone might always get killed. Peath is actually not a bad starting character. We can give her the Dagger of Westerness, give her a 5 prowess. Barmer is just big and muscly. Baragond is also Baratar rather. And if we had Barmer with Boffer, I believe Boffer is our only one. Oh, not Boffer. Dory is our only 1 mind character. So if we have either Barmer or Baratar, we could start with Dory following them to save a bit of general influence for 5 mind character, which would mean we'd want to probably do Barmer and Dory. Yeah, so why don't we do Barmer? I realize Barmer is another pop-up character, but I think we just need strong guys, at the start, especially until we can get some of our allies or items out to get a bit more protection. Barmer's got one of the best prowesses in the game. So that's 16. Oh, wait. If I do that, I can only have a 3. Ooh. Yeah, we'll have Peath in the. So at least the preferred starting party is these 4, I think. And then we can have Gildor follow Glorfindel, and we'll have 4 GI open. Actually, no, I'm not liking this so much. I think we'll put them back in the box. And we'll start with Baratar instead. Baratar only yields 1 prowess to Barmer. He doesn't get corrupted. He doesn't have the corruption penalty, and he's a ranger, which I would like to have more ranger power. That's 17. That only leaves us 3. We'll have Dory and Buffer, I guess. Now, Glorfindel holds the Elfstone and Gildor follows him. Dory follows Baratar. That leaves us with 5 free GI, and I believe that does mean if we draw Gimli, We can play him as long as Boffer winds up following him at the end of the organization phase. It also means we have enough um, general influence to play any of our characters except for Aragorn. I think we're going to just get rid of Anborn, Earith, and Bard. They're just too hard to keep healthy in this format, especially with the support cards we have. I'm going to say bye-bye to Gal. I'll put Galdor in the sideboard. I don't, to be honest, I don't think we're going to use him, but we don't have a lot of diplomats. I do at least theoretically hope to play the Magic Ring of Words. Fortunately, that leaves us pretty light on characters. We're actually 100% guaranteed of playing Glorfindel because our opponent's playing either a minion or a Fallen Wizard deck, and neither of them can field Glorfindel. So normally I'd have a deeper lineup than this because I'm worried about my opponent playing the same characters. Here, I'm actually only going to be including guys that are under 5 mind on the theoretical chance that he's going to wind up playing a Fallen Wizard and knock out one of our dudes. So I actually think Gilder's going to be our starting character. In some ways, he's the most critical because we need the Elf Stone to, in some ways he's there to help take up the Elf Stone. Influence, and we'll put Baragond. We can always put these characters right back in the character, in the main deck when we're done with them, if we don't field them. Okay, characters out of the way. Now let's look at our hazards. We are probably not going to have a super coherent hazard strategy with a kind of grab bag effect. I am going to be fixing a few of the additions because I'm crazy. Enough personal insanity. We have 4 agents, which is probably not enough to sustain any agent-based strategy, but we'll at least think about them. I'm actually going to look at the creatures a bit later, although I noticed we have 3 Cave Drakes, which is quite nice. Cave Drakes are versatile and powerful. I want to see what sort of support card... Oh, we've got 2 Sellswords between Charters. They're going to definitely be staying in the deck, too. But I want to see what kind of support hazards we've got before we start thinking about our creatures. At the very least, we want to operate in the Iron Hills at some point. That being said, the Northeast, sometimes minion parties, and sometimes they have their own dragon factions, so might want to have him. Let me just think about this for a second, because this with Doors of Night can be quite annoying. Remember, it's actually 2 wildernesses in its site path, not the path that the company took. And we do have rangers to prevent us, but just think for a second. Gollum, Goblin Gator Moria, those both would run into trouble. Noble Steed, a lot of the places that it would be playable are fine. Welling Hall is fine. Dunlop would not be. They would not be fine. The Gondor factions would be fine. Ranger faction would not be fine. There are a couple of sites we could go to that these would be fine. So yeah, I think we'll do a bit of roadblock. Now that will require Doors of Night, which means we won't really want the Gates of Morning. Do we have any Twilights? Do, yeah, so we can turn off the Doors of Night if necessary. So I think we will try a Doors of Night hazard strategy and kill them all along with ourselves. Winter, just thinking. Border hold, freehold, freehold. I think Llangalen's a border hold. I don't want to include a hazard that will mess me up as much as them. It's freehold, border hold. So maybe, but be careful with with Fellwinter. Return. Smaug's probably a bit better than Dalaman for that. Okay, this could be good. We do have some dwarves which will mess them up, but if he's got orcs, I'll probably put that in the sideboard. Oh, we don't have. I don't think we have any Nazgul or anything that would help us get stuff out of the sideboard, so that's going in the anti-Balrog sideboard because Balrog decks do a lot of Underdeep's travel. Could be good. Definitely want this. Yes. Okay. These are all cards that mess up Fallen Wizards, so they're all going into the Fallen Wizard sideboard. Few lures, not a whole lot of corruption power. On the other hand, it's surprisingly hard to corrupt minions. Minions who fail a corruption check by equal or one tap instead of being discarded, so. Could do. I guess this is a point to pontificate a bit. The difficulty with any hazard strategies, you have to figure out what your opponent is trying to do with their resource strategy without seeing it. Compared to heroes, minions do not get as many points from items generally, and a lot of their factions are it's a bit strange. A lot of the faction, instead of getting bonuses for the race of the character influencing, they tend to get bonuses or penalties for other factions in play. And sometimes if you have a whole bunch of factions in the same played at the same area, they do definitely have a lot more miscellaneous resources though, and quite a few of them do involve going to freeholds and border holds, so maybe think about this one. Could be nice. Could be nice. I definitely want this. Definitely want this. Put this in the sideboard. Reluctant Final Parting can really mess up allies. The thing is, I'm not so sure. What are again? I'm not nearly as experienced with the minions, so I'm just not sure what the minion allies. Reluctant Final Parting knocks out your allies if they go either to the Underdeeps or to a site that has a different nearest, in their case, Darkhaven, than the nearest Darkhaven, the site that you played them at. But a lot of them are playable at multiple sites, which makes using that very difficult. So I think it's more likely to hurt me than it's going to hurt him. So let's just get rid of it, actually. that's going in the Balrog sideboard. A card that can hurt me but not him. Buy a card that helps us if we had any Nazgul. Buy. I doubt we'll be seeing too many guys with prowesses of 12 or more. So get rid of that. None of our agents play at Shadowholds or Darkholds. I think he's our only scout. Yeah, so probably not. This could be good. Probably not. I don't think we have that many drakes. Another anti-fallen wizard. I don't think this is that great. Only useful against the Balrog, so this card can be very powerful. It makes it much easier to play really nasty, hard to play creatures. Thing is, I don't think we have too many of the sorts of creatures that it would help us play, so I think we're going to get rid of it. It's a short event. I don't really like these Lost in the X cards. We're probably not going to use dragons. How many of our agents are rangers? Duskun, I think, is the only one. So probably not. How many minion items work by tapping? None of our items do, which is a plus for this. And it would be fast to play. Useless for us. Very much doubt that he's going to be playing a ring deck, but let's put it in the sideboard just in case. Okay, this could be useful, especially since the minion sites tend to have nastier automatic attacks than hero sites do. So I think we'll keep this. Okay, so the problem with this card is we don't have any Maya. I don't think, at least a quick glance didn't seem like we have any Maya. Nah, we don't have any. A lot of undead, we don't have any Nazgul, and a lot of the undead will be detainment attacks. So I just don't think this will happen. This could be useful. I think we'll keep Veil's Flung Away. This card just kind of sucks. And this can be useful for preventing him from, going to his quote-unquote safe sites. Now that still leaves us with 95 hazards, so that was just paring away the obviously useless cards. So I think, unfortunately, we don't actually seem to have anything that boosts our hazard creatures, and we will need to include 12. So I think we should go with creatures that are not likely to just give away kills/trophies. Has some of the so here Bjorning Toll will have it. the dwarven travelers will have. Some of these hazard creatures have a little asterisk that represents their things that are kind of associated with the forces of good. If you play them, basically, minions can only get kill points for things with asterisks. But even whether or not it has an asterisk or not, if they defeat an attack, they can get what's called a trophy that they place with a character. A trophy. Sorry, it's a little bit late and I'm yawning. A trophy. A trophy boosts the direct influence and prowess of the character holding it, so it actually strengthens your characters. Um, do we have enough orcs to... Not really. Okay, so we'll definitely want the cave worm and the 3 cave drakes. We definitely want the 2 sellswords between charters. That's already 6 creatures. I think the orcs are all going to go because we just don't have enough to make the orc stuff work. I do like Thunder's Companion. 3 strikes at 9 is pretty good for a 2 wilderness creature. Double wilderness travel is hardly assured, but it's also not that rare. I just... I think I will keep this and the Stoutmen. I mean, these are only playable to specific regions, but I think that the odds that he'll go to some of them are okay. But let's get rid of the Barrow Wights. Get rid of the Brigands. Hang on to the Carrion Feeders for now. I'll get rid of the Corpse Candle. Maybe. I think this is unfortunately a bit too hard to play reliably. Lawless Men aren't super strong, but they are easy to play. The Dwarven Travelers. If we had some Mayas, maybe, but Maya. I figure 2 strikes at 9, 3 strikes at 8 are similar magnitude attacks, but the Dwarven Travelers will give him kill points, whereas the Lawless Men won't, so I think these go bye-bye. Shadowland travel is pretty frequent for minion decks, so I think I'll keep the Marsh Drake in case they go on the water. But I think I will get rid of those guys. Get rid of the lesser spiders. Down to 16 creatures. Problem is, I do like the ones that we got. Oh, we don't need this. That's sort of a creature. I think this could be good. We won't be visiting that many ruins in there, and most of the... See, one thing that is nice a bit about having so few items in this deck is that we're flexible. We have 1 greater, 1 major, and the Barrow Blade thing are really the only items we're planning. Oh, and the Wizard's Ring, but that's played at a haven. We can play these. There are ruins and lairs, so Orcrist we could place in either Carndoom, Mount Gundabad, or the Stones. They're all greater item sites. If things look dangerous in Shadowlands, Shadowholds, we go to the Stones. If they look dangerous for ruins and lairs, we go to Carndoom. Same thing for Glamdring, except it's Mount Graham and the Barrow Downs. I think we will keep... That's another creature. But I think I will try for the Long Winters. On the other hand, Long Winter's only really that useful if we have Doors of Night. We don't have anything else that goes with it, so I think actually we won't be doing the winter. I think the Sun Shone Fiercely actually should go. To the sideboard. It will definitely hurt us. We don't know how much it will hurt our opponent, so I think that's sideboard material. Oh, I seem to have forgotten this when we did our initial review. But we'll get rid of it. I don't think Arouse is that good. I much prefer the Awaken to the Arouse automatic attack boosters. I think this will be good. We don't have dragons. We don't need this. We don't need this. The thing is, he's probably not going to be seeing too many automatic attacks from Shadow Holds and Dark Holds, so I don't need that. We definitely want those. I'm just trying to see how many of their items involve things that tap and that we could disrupt by Slip Treacherously. Arkenstone, maybe. The answer seems to be not many. Shadow Cloak maybe, but we don't have that many hazards that are key to Shadowlands, Shadow Holds, Dark Domains, or Dark Holds, so useless, 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 useless. They have a lot more special items than we do, though. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of Slip Treacherously. Or put it in the sideboard. Maybe it'll be useful. Tidings of Bold Spies can be fun, so especially if we do have Awakened Defenders and Awakened Denizens. So I think I'll keep that. Okay. I don't think... Yeah, I just don't think we're going to get much mileage out of the agents, so let's get rid of the agents and the agent-related stuff. More cards to remove. Double Vigilance could be good, especially since Theo does seem to like camping out in places, if he can. I just don't think we're going to get enough. We don't have enough corrupt. Yeah, I just don't see us getting enough out of these corruption. I'll put them in the sideboard. But I'm not expecting to play them, to be honest. We just don't seem to have enough of them to... with things like Awakened Defenders and Tidings of Bold Spies, wherever that is, I think we don't quite need the Stout Men of Gondor or Ambusher as much. And to be honest, this really is a sideboard hazard. I'll put the other two Dragons Hunt in the sideboard as well. Again, not really expecting to play them, but you know, maybe. We'll probably need to pare down the sideboard a bit too. Still need to delete 4 cards, huh? Okay, this was kind of a marginable card anyway. This one, I mean, it makes pain last longer, but it won't actually help us wound anyone. But I do like it. But I think we should get rid of it. 2 more, 2 more. Get rid of one of the Lawless Men. We still have 2. And one of the Awakened Denizens. And with that, I think we have the first draft of a deck. Here's hoping it doesn't get too... I always have a little bit of trouble evaluating that. I know they're weaker than the sort of decks I would construct, but everyone else is in the same boat that you're in, and I haven't done that much. I haven't done that much with drafted decks, so I don't have a great sense as to where normal is. Anyway, here's hoping it works well. Probably next time we take this one out will be for the video involving playing with it, you know. Hope you enjoyed.